Toowoomba Speedway. Veal, Goodyear, McHugh and Oldfield. Morgan and Delamont add some spice in the third row. Hallett and Davis your fourth row. Marcus Dumsney, Brody Appleby, Corbett is going to be spicy from there. Lights go out and we are stacked, packed and racked for 35 laps. Night number one of Clay-Per-View Thunder on the Downs, and we are green. Even dispatch into 1 and 2, but look at McHugh throw the slider. Oh, big moment from Goodyear around the outside, and what a helter-skelter start. Josh Boyd to 3 and 4 for the first time.
Oh, and Tate Frost has turned it around. Oh, and Williamson just, oh, so unfortunate.
Sail around the outside. What can Veal do to try and hold off these guys behind? Set for a restart. Night number one of Thunder on the Downs. We're back to green. And that was nice. That was very nice from Jamie. Watch Goodyear. Diamond back underneath. This battle for second with McHugh. McHugh just too good off the initial start there, Boydie. He'll go through to P2. McHugh might go to the lead here. McHugh, slide job on Veal, and we are on like Donkey Kong right now.
We have a race on our hands. Look at this top four. McHugh, slide job for the lead. Veal returns serve. Meanwhile, Oldfield and Goodyear, slide jobs for the final spot on the podium. Veal back to the bottom, will lock it down through the middle, just give enough room. McHugh powers back around the outside. Back down into turn 1 and 2. Look to the bottom. Goodyear arrives and has a slide of a second. Veal gets back by. This is an insane battle. Behind your front four cars, Delamont and Morgan, hard at battle through the field. We're still too wide, but these front 5 cars are electrifying as we are tangled in turn number 4, and it's Jai Corbett a car involved. And Nick Well, I believe, will be the other car caught up there. As you see your onboard camera, Nick Well is looking to get out of the car straight away. So there it is, live images of a dejected driver of the Q21, and he goes looking
a lap or two earlier with Marcus Dumsney, unfortunately, having quite the moment. Here's the Dondex replay of Marcus having that little spin with a little bit of contact. And how do we stay green through all that?
And he kept it going, full 360 after nearly being up and over for the second time.
So Men's into the back of Nick Wells.
This battle, he's on the verge of a podium spot. Night number 1 of the Clay-Per-View. Thunder on the Downs back underway.
Here we go. Good start off the bottom for Veal. He got plenty of purchase. That'll give him a little hint for later. Veal trying to track down McHugh at the front. Goodyear going with the front 2 cars as well. Oldfield closes in 3 and 4. We'll watch it all just stretch out and close back in like a slinky for the first few laps. Look at Delamont have a dig down the bottom. We look further back through the pack. There's Craftsman looking on Aaron Kelly. Kelly chops the nose. Great battle. And then Corbett, who are throwing sliders at each other. McHugh has to prop. Turns the car down the racetrack. Here comes Veal. Here comes Veal. McHugh gets through the 2 cars at a crucial time. Veal right there with him, as is Goodyear. And now starts to hot up in lap traffic, Woody.
So Bowen pulls up, and that slightly balked the run of Lockie McHugh, your leader. Veal is right on the back of the number 7. Here goes Jock to the outside. He's up into position number 2, down into 1 and 2, 23 to go. McHugh under some serious pressure. I have the feeling that the SRV number 7 is better in open air, but this traffic is really testing him. The Gumtree head-to-head.
Yeah, we hit the halfway point in tonight's feature race, and there's plenty of traffic ahead. Who will zig? Who will zag? Here comes Goodyear. Slide job for the lead. Lockie pulls up, drives back underneath, chops the nose. A little bit of contact down the back straightaway that time. We're still battling for the lead through 3 and 4, but now McHugh knows he's there as we are 16 left to run and plenty of traffic still in front of your leader.
This green light racing is exactly what our night number 1 of Thunder on the Downs for Clay-Per-View needed. Is this Chariots night 3 all over again? Roles reverse for the meantime. McHugh leads Goodyear, but it's a T22 that still looks comfortable. It's nearly like Jock's allowing Lockie to be the first to traffic, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Traffic goes into the fence. McHugh to the bottom, puts Kratzman a lap down. Jock Goodger is here to party, and he squeezes on the top side. On the outside of Brent Kratzman, this is insane.
How did he thread the needle there? With 13 to run. 9 number 1 of Thunder on the Downs. And Goodger is going blow for blow with Lockie McHugh around the high banks of Hi-Tec Oils Toowoomba Speedway. There's nobody in the top line as we are yellow for Brody Appleby.
Oh my goodness me.
Oh, please stay green. We go back to green and McHugh fires a very early shot. Look at how good Veal is at the bottom once again. Veal, another look down low in 1 and 2. The V35 right there with Goodger, but Goodger might be the quickest car on the racetrack right now. Needs a chance, an opening to pry the door open and go to P1.
Behind this main battle, Brock Hallett's a car on the move. He throws a slider on Luke Oldfield in position number 4. Oldfield fights back. Brock Hallett gets tagged. Brock Hallett was the car on the hustle through your pack. And geez, he's unfortunate to be tagged that time. What that car could have had for the later on. Dondex replay for the big screen. And for everyone playing at home on Clay per View, Oldfield back to the inside, and I'll let the armchair judges at home be the decider on who you think is who. Oldfield and Hallett switching lines. This was about the second slider that was traded between this battle.
12 laps to go. And McHugh was brilliant that time. Goodger tries the bottom. Like Veal, he probably saw how good Jamie was in the last restart. Goes back to the top. Tries to wind the momentum in once again as Randy Morgan goes through to 4th. Jackson Delamont to 5th as Oldfield is on the struggle bus right now.
I think that little bit of contact may have hurt the advanced mobility number 17, the front left. A little bit astray as your front 3 cars begin to check out from your field. Randy Morgan coming on strong late in this one. The Daniel Trucking Goodyear Developments T22 once again looks so comfortable on the high side of turn number 3 and 4, but don't get me wrong, it's a treacherous line at the moment. These drivers are right on the edge of control.
Here we go, laps winding down, and Goodyer is just as good as McHugh right now. 7 to run for the NQ7 out the front, and Jock Goodyer is right there with him.
Here we go.
Traffic about to be a factor as Goodyer goes blow for blow with McHugh. 6 to go this time by body, and he's right there with him.
We're waiting in anticipation for the move. Charlie Bowen's on the high side of the speedway. McHugh pulls the trigger and goes down low in 3 and 4. Goodyer stays up high. Here's a run. Goodyer throws a haymaker. Hail Mary stuff into turn number 2. McHugh fights back on the low side. Goodyer covers the line, rolls through the middle. McHugh has the momentum. Goodyer grabs the wall big time. And McHugh goes back to the lead with 4 to run.
Goodyer slide job back for the lead with 4 to go. McHugh switches underneath. This is epic at Hi-Tec Oils Toowoomba Speedway. Look at Jock run the low line, trying to get the drive at the bottom. Laps winding down, 3 to run here, Boydie.
Momentum will need a big swing here for the T22 and Jock Goodyer, who may have just used himself up a little bit too early. Tries the bottom once again as McHugh has a healthy gap now. 2 laps to run. Night number 1 of the Clay per View Thunder on the Downs. Lockie McHugh, expert at his absolute best.
The NQ7 exits out of turn 4, greets the white flag. Down the main straightaway into 1 and 2. He came and he fought off Goodger's charge. He grabs the back concrete wall, goes through 3 and 4 in the SRV Road Freight Services NQ7 wins night number 1 of the Clay per View Thunder on the Downs. Goodyer, Fallon home in second, and Jamie Veal rounds out the podium. The NQ7 and the T22 were absolutely supreme. Toowoomba, can I have some noise for Lockie McHugh? What a race. Are you kidding me? The 2 best drivers in the country just laid a smackdown on each other, Josh Boyd. And what a performance.
From the driver of the SRV Road Freight NQ7, how about some noise for Lockie McHugh?
Boy, oh boy, what a race. Did you realise Jock was that close the whole time?
Not till we tried sort of that first slide job. Yeah, I was kind of just running my own pace out front there. I wasn't pushing it too hard or anything. And yeah, when he threw that slide job, then I thought, better push it, pick it up a level and start banging off the fence a bit out of 4. And but yeah, got pretty tight there in some of the lap cars, and then Jock got into the wall there out of 4, and thought we were both crashing there. Ran over his left rear tyre. It was a bit sketchy, but yeah, happy to get a win for the fellas after missing last weekend and tearing up race car last night in Darwin. It's good to bounce back.
It's a heck of a way to bounce back. There was no soft little get back into the groove here. We made you work hard for it. 40 the best in the country here, and geez, you earned every single bit of that $10,000 tonight. The slide jobs with Jock, it was such a momentum game when you got caught in the middle here. Was it a case of once you got back to the top, you'd spend a lap trying to wind momentum back into it?
Yeah, definitely. It's hard, knowing when to slide yourself and not to. You lose so much time sliding yourself, obviously, and leave yourself vulnerable into the next corner. But I think I did a reasonable job at it, and just got some really good starts right off the initial start there, and that kind of made our race just getting into the lead early there on the first couple of laps.
Now, I know it's always hard when you're second after a cool race like that, Jock, but geez, that was impressive.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be pretty hard. Lockie was just sitting out front and it was pretty hard to catch, but I felt like we were definitely better than him. I could run him down in clean air and, be right on his bumper enough to put on a move. So, yeah, still, probably sucks there. I shouldn't have slid myself. I thought he was going to come back at me and then cost myself. I don't know, it just felt terrible after that, so I just limped it home there. But, yeah, awesome race. Obviously don't like being on this side of it, but yeah, hats off to Lockie. It was entertaining. I mean, I was racing pretty hard. I'm sure he was racing pretty hard, but no, hats off to the boys. They got a good package here, so we'll roll on to tomorrow, and yeah, I'm sure we'll stand up here.
The crowd, they're on their feet when you guys are just throwing bombs at each other, and then, as you said, you slid yourself into 3 here and tried to make sure you blocked that line. It's so tricky to know when you haven't got the rear view mirror and to see whether someone's going to make the move on you. Is it a case of, because it just takes away so much momentum when you're through the middle, it takes a full lap to get these things back up to speed?
Yeah, I think it's probably just the character of the track there, especially in turn 4. You wash off so much momentum, and the person behind you is just rounded up the whole way around. But, yeah, still happy with the effort, but at the end of the day, I probably made too many mistakes there. Probably the lane choice being one, and then there probably shouldn't have done that. But, yeah, I'll fix my mistakes, and, yeah, we'll come back and we'll put on another show for you guys.
Now, probably for the more technical side of things, we've moved to that harder right rear compound. Does that make it more difficult for you guys to move around in traffic, or is it a case of just getting used to things? We saw how long it took those guys in the States to get used to those new compounds as they brought them in. Is it everyone's sort of thrown the notebook out and started again, or are we pretty close, but it just takes a little bit of fine-tuning?
Oh, I got a complete new notebook, so yeah, it's completely different. It makes the racing it feels a lot slower compared to what the old compound did. I feel like we're not really hammering it as hard, even though we're hammering it, but less grip, I feel that as well. So it's just something you've got to adapt to, and use your throttle a lot more with these things because they don't square up with the other tyres how they grew. But yeah, we'll just keep tuning this thing up. Cars rocket fast, and yeah, we'll just roll her on tomorrow.